I just finished hitting the welcome offer on the IHG Premier Business. And now so far this year, I've been able to get welcome offers on the IHG Premier Business, the Capital One Venture X, and the Chase World of Hyatt. For a lot of people, 3 different credit card applications is a lot, even for like a full year. But I'm going to continue to keep the velocity of my credit card applications high, and I'm going to be applying for the Delta Business Gold Card. This is going to be a fun one because I do have one specific trip that is happening later this year that was just finalized. And I'm actually going to be using all of these Delta miles from the welcome offer towards that trip. So I'll get into that specific travel redemption as well. But as always, for the card application itself, I'm going to get into the key details on the card, discuss exactly why I decided to apply personally, share my data points going into the application, and then of course, we'll go through that live application together and see if I get approved or denied. But before we hop into the video, if you do enjoy videos just like this one, then do me a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe down below because it's a free and easy way to help support my channel and I would really appreciate it. So the Delta Business Gold Card typically has an annual fee of $150, but there actually is an introductory period during your first year where you have a $0 annual fee. This is a pretty perfect scenario in terms of giving the card a test run because as you'll see in a second, I'm going to get significant year one value, especially from the elevated welcome offer. And then I can test out the different components and benefits on the card. And I'll have the flexibility to cancel after year one without ever having to pay an annual fee if I want to. Speaking on that elevated offer, there is an elevated offer that is going on for the card until July 17th. And that elevated offer is going to allow you to receive 75,000 Delta Sky miles when you spend $6,000 or more in the first 6 months of having the card, which is up from the typical 55,000 Delta Sky miles. As you'll see when I discuss why I'm applying for this card specifically, this elevated welcome offer is going to play a significant part in my travel plans later this year. In terms of the point multipliers, there's nothing really that big to write home about, but you'll get 2x back on Delta purchases, 2x back at shipping providers, and for advertising purchases in select media, and then 1x back on all other purchases. In terms of benefits, you will get a $150 Delta Stays credit, which could offset the long-term annual fee on the Delta Business Gold Card. You'll also get a $200 Delta Flight credit when you spend $10,000 or more in 1 calendar year, which to be honest is typically probably not going to be worth it. But in year one, you already do need to spend $6,000 to hit the welcome offer. So I could see the rationale for why you'd want to go for that Delta flight credit in year one when you already have that increased spending anyways. And then you also get benefits like 15% back on award flights when you book an award flight with your Delta Sky miles, which is actually going to be an important factor in the upcoming travel redemption that I have, and I will talk about that more in a second. And then finally, there's going to be some other Delta specific benefits such as priority boarding and your first check bag free. But now let's get into what I would argue to be the most important part of this video, which is going to be why I decided to apply personally, so you can get an inside look into my thought process for why I decided to apply for the Delta Business Gold Card. So the first major reason that I decided to apply for the Delta Business Gold Card right now is going to be because of the elevated offer. Not only do I prioritize having a high velocity of applying for different welcome offers, but I also try to optimize for the best welcome offers possible. Delta Sky Miles is definitely not the most valuable points currency that is out there, but again, this welcome offer is typically 55,000 points. And right now it's 75,000, which is actually a significant jump. Plus, American Express has lifetime language on a lot of their credit cards, which basically means you can only get the welcome offer once during your lifetime, which makes it even more important to make sure you're capitalizing on the highest offers possible. The second reason that I'm applying for the Delta Business Gold Card right now is because I'm going to be using the Delta Sky miles from the welcome offer specifically for an upcoming trip that I have. Basically, later this year, I'm going to Puerto Escondido and Oaxaca, Mexico with my wife and some of my wife's family as well. And we will be staying in a shared Airbnb, so I won't be having any sort of hotel redemptions, but we will obviously need to fly there. So being a credit card person myself, I wanted to figure out the best way to where I wouldn't need to pay cash and I could use points to pay for myself and my wife's flights. Unfortunately, a lot of Latin America, so like Mexico, Central America, and South America, it doesn't typically have like the best travel redemptions out there. There's not like super luxurious airlines where you can fly lie flat business class. And there's typically not like super outsized value in terms of point redemptions overall. And so since the travel redemptions aren't like the best overall, I figured I'd probably just fly economy for this trip. And Delta and Aeromexico are actually partners, so you can utilize the Delta Sky miles to book Aeromexico flights. So the plan would be we would book round trip flights from Seattle to Mexico City, and we would utilize our Delta Sky miles for those round trip flights. and then we would just fly on a short, cheap flight from Mexico City over to Puerto Escondido. So this is the thought process that I had and the specific reason for why I decided that I wanted to apply for the Delta Business Gold Card. I could definitely transfer American Express points over to Delta and do the booking that way, but I really wanted to see if I could get a bulk of Delta points first. And so that's why I'm applying for this card to get the welcome offer. So again, I would be able to get 75,000 Delta Sky miles from this welcome offer and round trip flights from Seattle to Mexico City for both myself and my wife. So 2 flights round trip is typically about 116,000 Delta Sky miles. But since I'm able to utilize the Delta Business Gold Card to get 15% off any award travel, this overall flight redemption would actually be at 97,000 Delta Sky miles, so it would be a little bit cheaper. So basically, here's where I'm at. I would get 75,000 Delta Sky miles from the welcome offer. I already had 12,000 Delta Sky miles in my account just from a couple Delta flights I've had over the past couple years. And so basically, I would just need to transfer an additional 10,000 American Express points over to Delta Airlines, and then I'd be able to complete this entire booking. In case you're wondering, the cash value for the direct round trip flights to Mexico City would be about $1,300. So since I would need 97,000 Delta Sky miles to complete that booking, which would give me a modest 1.3 cents per point, which again is not like the best, but it's gonna allow me to not pay cash for this trip, which again was my whole goal. And so I would say it's still gonna be a successful redemption. Finally, the last reason that I decided to apply for the Delta Business Gold Card is going to be because of the $0 introductory annual fee. Again, long-term, the Delta Business Gold Card has a $150 annual fee, but it does have an introductory annual fee of $0 in the first year. The benefit to this is that I have absolutely zero downside during the first year in terms of needing to pay any sort of annual fee, and that's along with significant year one upside with the welcome offer taken into account. I've never considered myself to be a very big Delta guy, but I'm pretty open-minded in terms of trying out different travel redemptions and different credit cards and seeing what sticks and what ends up making the most sense for me. So I also wanted to just try out this card and see if it makes sense with some of the benefits and how much value that I'm actually able to get from things like the Delta Stays credit. So having a $0 introductory annual fee is great for being able to test it out. And ultimately, at the very minimum, I'm going to have significant year one value, and then I can make a decision after year one based on the benefits I was able to get on whether I want to continue holding the card or whether I want to make the decision to cancel it. Okay, but now real quick, before I get into that application, I wanted to share my data points going into it. So I have an average credit score of 730 across all 3 credit bureaus, and I have 4 hard inquiries currently on my report. My credit card applications this year were the Chase World of Hyatt card, the Capital and Venture X, and IHG Premier Business. So 2 personal cards and 1 business card. All right, everyone. So I got the card page pulled up right now. As you can see, it's the elevated offer, being able to receive 75,000 bonus miles, which is ultimately one of the core reasons why I decided to apply for the Delta Business Gold Card. This offer does go on until July 17th. So act with some urgency if you want to get that elevated offer and it's a card that you want to ultimately get. On the left side, another reason where I talked about why I would be applying for this card as well is it does have a $0 introductory annual fee. So like I mentioned, I'll be able to test it out during the first year and then make a decision after that in terms of whether I want to continue holding the card. But we're gonna go over here, I'm gonna click apply now, and we're gonna head right into the application itself. So I'm just gonna scroll up and down just to show you exactly what's in it. So at the very start, we have the business information. By the way, you just wanna check on the left side as well, make sure that it's the right welcome offer, but as you can see, it's the 75,000 bonus miles. So starting from the top down to the bottom, I'm gonna start by entering my email address. After that, I'm gonna enter my business information. So this is gonna be my legal business name. I do have an LLC, so I'm gonna put in all my information related to that. Company DBA name is just if you have a different name for your business, but for me, it's just the same one as my LLC. The business address that you have, the industry type and company structure. For industry type, none of these really make a lot of sense. I mean, you could make the argument it's under finance, but I'm going to put other for industry type. And then company structure, you'll want to put if it's a corporation, a partnership, or sole proprietorship, whatever your business structure is. And then I'm going to put the years in business. So this is obviously probably going to be beneficial in general to have a little bit longer of a tenure with your business, but you don't want to fabricate that. Obviously, you want to be very truthful, but you could basically say the time that you had the idea of the business is when that business actually started. And then however long that's been since then is how many years. So for me, that would be 3 to 5 years is the years of business that I have. Number of employees, I don't have any employees, and probably, number of employees must be 1 in 999. So I guess they're including myself. So I'm the only employee of my LLC. Most of you are probably going to be in a similar boat, I'm guessing, but if you do have a bigger company and you have some other employees, then you'll want to notate that there. Okay, and then here is your gross annual business revenue and your estimated monthly spend, just to get a good sense of how your business is operating and what the revenue expenses look like. And then your federal tax ID. So this is going to be your EIN if you have an LLC. But obviously you're going to want to put what you actually have. So if you have a sole proprietorship, it's not going to be an EIN because you obviously don't have one. So just do what works best for you for your own business there. The role in the company is I am the owner, so I'm going to put owner there. And then this is where we get into the actual personal information. So on any business credit card application, you're going to have business and personal that you're going to be putting in every time. So for the personal info, it's just going to be, my personal info. So my name on card, address, social security, date of birth, and then my total annual income, which I always like to mention this just because it's useful for people to know. But you can have any income that's available to you. So I'm actually married and I have shared bank accounts with my wife, and both of us work full time. So basically I'll be able to include all of the income that comes to us, especially since we file taxes jointly as well. That's available to us in our bank accounts, and then also includes any sort of investments. So if you have like rental income from real estate or dividends or anything like that, you can include that in that overall calculation. I will enter my Delta Sky Miles number as well, just to make sure it's connected to my loyalty account. But if you don't already have a Delta Sky Miles number or loyalty account, you will automatically get one just by the nature of applying for this card. Beyond that, tell us where to send your bill. There's the terms and conditions here. So this is where it lists like the $0 intro annual fee. If you are interested in some of this stuff, so like what your APRs are, that's a good place to check that out. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill out all this information, and then I'm going to meet back with you in a second when that's all filled out. And then I'll actually do the moment of truth and submit the application to see if I get approved. So I'll be back with you in 1 sec. Hey everyone, so I filled out all that information. So I'm going to go down to the moment of truth here and actually submit the application. But hopefully I'm hoping for the best. Obviously this is going to be great for my travel redemption coming up. So really hoping to get approved, but let's see. Submit application. Okay, so pending review. Okay, so your Delta Sky Miles Gold Business American Express card application has been received. Now it does ask if I want to add employee cards, which is usually a good thing because it usually is an indicator that, things are good, and it's just saying if you want to add any employees. Obviously, I don't have any other employees, so I'm at the bottom here just going to say maybe later. Taking a while here, but hopefully I don't have to call American Express and do any sort of reconsideration stuff. I'm hoping that the employee card thing was a good thing and that I actually... Perfect. Got approved. Okay, sweet. So looks like I will have the new cards in the mail by Tuesday, July 2nd, but I'm super excited to get this card. I'm going to have this going forward, and I'm going to be able to use it for the first year for the introductory $0 annual fee. And then I will probably be coming out with another video going over my travel redemption where I utilize these Delta Sky Miles. So super excited for that. And yeah, overall, thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful, just going through an application and seeing what my thought process was on why I applied. But if you did enjoy this video, then I think you'll enjoy this next video. And I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. And thank you all so much again for watching. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.